got this shit straight out the mud. Now they never show me love. My homie let me for a scrub. Okay. I got this shit straight out the mud. Now they never show me love. My old bitch let me for a scrub. I say we them dub. I got this shit straight out the mud. Now they never show me love. My old bitch let me for a scrub. I say we them dub. I got this shit straight out the mud. And now they never show me love. I had to go find me a plug.
What's good, baby? Simple as that podcast, man. Back at y'all again with another one. It's your boy Jay and your man Floyd.
What's up? What's up?
What's good, bro? How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, bro.
How was your week?
My week was pretty rough. I'm not gonna lie. You know, it's one of the rougher weeks I've had in a while.
Yeah, you was telling me.
But we muscled it through like we always do, you know.
Yeah, no doubt.
So
perseverance is key around this motherfucker.
Yeah. What
Get
about
through
you,
persevere, man? Week was, rough, man, but can't make no excuses, man. I'm still blessed end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Blessed for another day of life. I got my son here with me this weekend, so small victories, man.
Yeah.
That's what I got to count on.
Yeah, for
Live
sure.
off of those.
Yeah,
man. So today we're gonna talk about the injustices in the Asian community, man. We stand with the Asian community as minorities in this country. I think it's very important that we use our voices and speak up for other minority groups and let them know that we all stand together as Americans, minorities in America. It's important, man. Recently we had some very brutal stuff happen to Asian Americans in Atlanta, Georgia. Dude went around to Asian parlors, massage parlors and such, and took the lives of 8 people.
Yeah.
6 of them were Asian American women, or Asian women. And in the media, they talking about they don't know what his motives was. They don't know, you know what I'm saying, if he was targeting Asian women. 6 of 8, what's it look like?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, he said he wasn't.
Yeah.
You know, he said that it wasn't towards, like it had nothing to do with race
Right.
or whatever. But with all this coronavirus, like for the last year,
Right.
2020 March or whatever, you know, if you want to assume, I'm gonna assume that it was had to do with race, bro.
No doubt.
Against Asians, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't like to play the blame game, but a lot of this Asian hate, you know, Asian American hate came from Donald Trump, bro. You know, because he has a big platform. He was the president of the United States. So when he was in the office talking about Chinese virus, the Wuhan virus and all that,
Yeah.
just like stirring up.
Encouraging ignorance.
Yeah, pretty much. You
to
know?
a group of people that are already ignorant as hell.
Yeah, so that I think that was number one.
Right.
You know, but just the ignorance in general that anybody had, like, what is racism, bro? I don't understand it because I'm not racist myself. How do you have hate towards another race or another color? You know, I look at all of us as human beings. I don't look at you as a black man. I don't look at him or her as a white man or an Asian human being. You know, I would never understand, bro. That's just pure ignorance.
Right. It's pure ignorance. And I think what it boils down to me, from my perspective, is the people that are racist, they don't have a sense of who they are personally.
Yeah.
They don't know their own heritage. They don't know where they came from. They don't have a self-identity. I think they hate themselves.
Yeah.
Deep down, they hate themselves.
Yeah.
And the only way to really get over it is to hate on others, to hate other people.
Yeah, that was one of my points, man. There's no way that you can have hate in your heart towards other people without hating yourself. You can not possibly love yourself while hating others.
Right.
It's just, I feel like that's impossible. Do you agree?
I definitely agree. Like a fear of inadequacy. Like they don't feel like they're enough. And they're afraid of losing what little they have, what little identity that they do have left.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's just ridiculous, bro. You know, a lot of like my definition of racism is hatred in their heart, ignorance, like lack of knowledge on who and what this race like comes from, and fear, pure fear.
Right.
You know, like just fearing another human being that you don't know.
Right.
You know, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, like I would never understand racism, bro.
I don't get it either. And I
We
think
could talk about it all day, every
yeah.
day, and somebody would try to explain to me why they are racist, and I still would not understand, bro.
it's not possible. It's really inconceivable. It's hard to understand. And the guy who committed the atrocity, Robert Aaron Long is his name. He didn't have an explanation. He told the police he did it because of his sexual addiction.
Yeah.
And he went to those parlors and he killed those people because to get rid of temptation. And it was places that he frequently visited. So what that makes me believe is that maybe he had maybe a fetish for Asian women. And looking at the dude, looking at his picture, like he wasn't, you know, probably getting no kind of attention from him. He wanted the attention and wasn't getting it. And his pride was hurt. His masculinity was attacked. He was hurt. So his way of reacting was with that ignorant shit that he did.
See, but the way I'm looking at it, it's like it don't even matter what he says, bro. There's 8 lives that are gone now because of his ignorance and his, like, he has no love for anybody, literally, you know? So it's like, I don't care what reason he had, you know, if it was mental, somebody, you know, he needed help, obviously. You know, if it was mental, get help. If it was some other weird shit, like, it's no excuse, bro.
Yeah, there's literally no excuse for this.
No excuse.
At all.
And you know, we have to pray for the families,
no doubt,
that lost those people. You know, racism is all over the world, but right now we talking about the Asian community. It's just I'm speechless right now because I don't understand it. I literally do not understand racism.
I don't understand it. I really don't understand it against Asian people. I have a lot of Asian friends that welcome me into their households. They treated me like family. They introduced me to their culture. They fed me their food. Oh, this is what this is. This is chicken adobo. This is what this is. This is, you know, they taught me the language, Tagalog. You know what I'm saying? And they were so inviting. Such docile, humble people, willing to give and just share everything. So where is the hate? How do you hate somebody or hate a group of people that come from beginnings and come from that have that kind of background? Yeah. The only logical reason is because you don't know that person. You hating somebody, like you said, that you don't know.
You don't know that person, but you also was raised that way.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of racism was homegrown. Like,
it is
from when you were a toddler, bro.
Right.
Like, taught
parents and grandparents.
You know.
Yeah.
So that's all they know.
Right. Because nobody's born racist. You literally cannot be born racist.
Exactly.
You can't be a baby being racist. You're not a toddler racist.
Right. That shit is taught, bro.
Right. It's shit you see at your house. You see how your parents interact with different people and stuff that they tell you and that you just pick up on. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I don't understand the hate towards the Asian community. It's hard for me to rationalize because I've been treated exceptionally by the Asians, from Koreans to Chinese, Japanese. I have a lot of Filipino friends. Shout out to all my Filipino friends still living in San Diego. Man, they're like my brothers and sisters, man. Like the way they welcomed me. I still remember the first time I went over to Brian's house and the way they all, like his mother and his aunts, uncles, and, you know, his cousins. Everybody's like, oh, your name's Jay, man. Come over here. Let's show you what we got. Yeah. Whole spread of food. Hennessy bottles everywhere. Like, I'm talking about partying, man. Like, and they just treat everybody that comes in their home like family. It's different. I think people with like a strong cultural background, they really genuinely value family. You can tell if you go into like an Asian restaurant, it's like the mother, the father, the kids, everybody family has family owned, and they all have a role that they play in the business, and to keep the money in the business, to keep the money in the community. And they're just a quiet people that don't go out of their way to harm or do anything crazy to anybody. You know what I'm saying? So for this to happen, it's like, I'm like you said, I'm speechless. Like, I really don't. It's hard to rationalize. It's hard to understand. And
how could one really walk around in this world with hate in their heart for another race, bro? You know, I can keep asking that question over and over again
and never get an answer.
It just does not make sense, bro. You know,
at all.
But the thing about it is, it's like we can ask, what's the solution? There is no solution, bro. Racism will always be around because hate will never go away.
Right.
You know, that will always be on this earth. Hate will always be on this earth.
Right.
There's a lot of stubborn people, prideful people that don't want to get better. How they view you is how they're always going to view you, and you can't tell them nothing.
Right.
You know, so it's like, damn, the only thing we could do is just bring light to the situation. Maybe we can change a racist person live if they watch this or something.
Right.
You know, but this shit is just wild, bro.
It is wild. And honestly, like one of the things I like to say is just control your environment, control what you can control. That's within your immediate surrounding. You know what I'm saying? So if we could reach out and touch one person that maybe be prejudiced towards Asians or be prejudiced towards African Americans, whoever they're prejudiced against, reach out to them or just, you know, have a conversation with them and be able to change their mind. Because it seems like it's impossible and it's very unlikely, but there has been people that have sat down and talked to Klans members, and Klans members have completely turned over their hoods and changed their lives 100% just from having conversations and like repetitive interactions with people of different races. You know what I'm saying? So it seems impossible, but it's possible. The impossible is always possible. Like you say, put the work in. You like to say put the work in. It's just the work has to be put in to change those relationships and interactions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. Like I definitely agree. Like this is like far fetched. Like as far as fixing all of this, but like I said, if somebody watches this and they see two men like bringing light to it, it might trigger something in their brain. Like, dang, maybe I should start looking at certain people like differently. You know, like they start thinking like, dang, I'm weird as fuck,
right?
For thinking this way,
right?
You know, and going back to like the whole COVID situation since March of 2020, it's like, bro, how could you look at one Asian person that has nothing to do with COVID, look at them and be like, yo, like you're the reason why we have COVID? They have nothing, bro. They're in America living a regular life just like us. How could you have hate in your heart towards that person when they have nothing to do with COVID, bro? Just because they're Asian and they say that COVID came from China and all that, you know?
Right. But
it's ridiculous.
People say fear breeds ignorance. So the fear of what? I think, like man, the people, in my opinion, who are racist, they fear that they're inadequate. They fear that they have nothing to offer, and they feel that they're losing what little that they do know. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Ignorance. 'Cause you know the definition of ignorance is lack of knowledge.
Right.
So that's literally what you just said.
Right. That's my opinion of people that harbor racism and live that way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And for real, to treat Asian people the way people have been treating them lately in America, like, it's very unacceptable, man. If you don't know any Asian people, it's 2021. This is the year of like civil revolutions where people are bringing light to a bunch of different situations in the country. You know what I'm saying? So reach out. This is the time where it's up to us. Like, our grandparents did their part. Our parents did their part. It's our time. We're the adults now. It's our time to use our platform and have our voice. That's why it's important that we do this today, to use our voice to put the message out there that it's okay to step outside your comfort zone. Maybe if you never had a conversation with somebody of Asian descent, don't be afraid to go out and reach out and have that conversation. You might learn something. You might make a new lifelong friend. In somebody that you never thought, because you looked at the color of their skin. Yeah, definitely get out your comfort zone. Like, I think that's one thing, because you never know, bro. Like you said, you may have found a best friend, bro. Right. You know? So if you do see anybody, like, I'm not just speaking on Asians, but if you do speak, if you do see anybody on the street that you don't know, I'm not going to say try to like be their best friend, but just be friendly to them, because you never know that they could be your match, your best friend, you know? Right. And you would never know if you don't at least say hello. Yeah, a friendly greeting goes a long way. Yeah. I've been getting a lot better at that, just like greeting people. Bro, you and I talked about this like 2 months ago, about just speaking more and being more, not outgoing, but just being more proactive when we're out in public and giving people eye contact, maybe a little smirk, smile, just to, you know, give off great energy to people, you know? So I think that's important, man. It really is. We have to break barriers, man. Like, now is the time. We've lived this way for long enough. You know, it's been, 3 generations now, 4 generations, you know, since, you know, slavery ended and segregation, Jim Crow era. I mean, now is the time where it's extremely unacceptable to still be living in the world that we live in. It really is, bro. Like, it really is. And then if you look at the way Asians have contributed to American society. I mean, just think about it. You look on the back of a cup, made in China, made in Taiwan. Else. Yeah. Places like that. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I don't know, bro. Asians contribute a lot, man. And if you look, a lot of businesses, like, spas, nail salons.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And people crack jokes and
My girl get her nails done
right,
every other week, bro,
right,
by an Asian human being. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And they do great jobs. It's like
right.
it's crazy, man.
And people like to poke fun and stereotype it like, oh, Asian, or you probably work at. Okay, and that's something that they came to America and made a staple out of, and are making as a group millions and millions and millions of dollars.
They're
You know
doing
what I'm saying?
they're doing better than a lot of Americans out here.
Right, that they have their own business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's like
End of the day, like, what are you talking? Like, you work at McDonald's, going to get your nail done by an Asian lady that works at a nail salon, and you got the nerve to poke fun and stereotype her, like you're better than her for what? What makes you better?
it's crazy, man.
You know what I'm saying?
You know.
You don't even own your own bed at home. You probably sleep on an air mattress, and you're gonna sit here and laugh at this lady that has a whole family working in a business that they created,
Right.
that's putting food on their table.
Right.
What do you like? Seriously?
We would never understand, bro. You know?
Never, man. Oh, that burns me up. That shit burns me up,
It's crazy.
man. Because they have Asian people have so much. They have contributed so much to American society from the time they got here with the 18th, 19th century, all the way till now. They've done a lot to contribute as far as science and medicine, as athletes, actors, and actresses. Man, they've done a lot.
Yeah, very intelligent minds, bro.
Very intelligent,
100%.
very goal-minded, very driven. You know what I'm saying? Very creative people, very humble people. You don't ever really see Asian folks like outspoken and doing anything outrageous.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
for sure. It's crazy, bro. Like I saw something where they said it was nearly 4,000 hate crimes since COVID started. Since
Right.
COVID happened or
Right.
whatever.
Mhm.
That's a lot, bro. In
Yeah.
1 year,
Yeah. It just shows ignorance.
4,000, bro.
The ignorance of people, man. The ignorance of not knowing, like you said,
Yeah.
the
Not
the
knowing.
definition of
And
not
not
knowing.
wanting to know, just not even caring. You know.
Right. Because of their privilege.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, they don't have to worry about that. They can go home to their families and eat shepherd's pie and do whatever the hell they want to do at night and go to sleep and be okay.
Mm-hmm.
But there's Asian people today that are afraid to leave their house, that fear for their mothers and sisters, that are living in fear and that are traumatized by what happened because they don't know when it could strike again. It's almost like when the DC sniper was
When what can strike again?
the next act of terrorism against Asian Americans or Asians in general.
It's still going on though.
Right, but when's the next outburst? Like when somebody goes and shoots up another, like say what he just did, and you know people are ignorant as shit, so they see that like, yeah, I'm gonna be the next one.
Yeah.
The next one, like I'm gonna be the next one. So it could be in Missouri, a couple nail salons or spas get shot up because somebody was just riled up by the ignorance and wanted to go do the same thing. We see it all the time. Like shit like this happens in strings. People get encouraged by this shit.
Yeah.
They feed off of this kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? So people are living in fear. And it's not fair that innocent people have to live in fear because of the ignorance of a group of people.
Yeah. Not fair at all.
At all. And I really don't think it's fair that it's not being addressed in the media the way it should be addressed as white terrorism.
That's by design though.
By design.
That's by design, bro.
Yeah, I don't really trust. The media says what they want to say until it comes time to talk about shit like this for real. If it's a minority group, they're quick to put the minority group out there as what they did wrong and condemn them. But when shit is happening like this was a terrorist act. And I think people are so quick to kind of shy away from saying what it really is, which is white terrorism. It's white terrorism. These are white supremacists
100%.
that are committing these acts of terrorism. It's a terrorist group. You know what I'm saying? And people are living in fear. It's homegrown terrorism.
Yeah.
I know when I joined the Navy, I took an oath to protect this country against acts of terror, foreign and domestic. This is domestic terrorism. That's what this shit is, man. And it's serious. If you think about back when 9/11 happened, when the Trade Center got bombed in the Pentagon, they were quick to call Muslims terrorists. The same shit it's crazy. The same shit that's going on now happened. What's going on with Muslims? They were getting beat up in the streets. People were just teeing off on Muslims and destroying their businesses and beating Muslim people up.
And that's still
all over the country.
That's still going on too.
Yeah, from 9/11. Yeah,
Yeah, that's still going on. People, if they see anybody that looks like that,
right.
they automatic like trigger in their mind, like warning. Like,
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just great. Like, it's just crazy how human beings think, you know? And I always believe like, yeah, your guard always has to be up, but it's like, bro, come on, man. Like you can't look at everyone the same.
Right.
At least try to speak to them to see where their mind is at. And then if you catch a vibe, then all right, fall back. But it's like we gotta come together, bro. Everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone as a human race. Because at the end of the day, we're all the same. We just speak different languages.
That's exactly what it is. The human race. The human race. All of this black, white, all this shit was created by design. Mm-hmm. It's created by design to divide communities and create hierarchies and separation to further divide. You know what I'm saying? But we are so far past those people that instituted that bullshit are long dead and rotting in their grave now. It's time now that we take a stand and we talk about things like this that are going on in today's society, and we bring light to it and try to unify. We can't unify the world, but we can unify our community. Mm-hmm. You know, at the very smallest level that we can do that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Control what's around you.
Yeah, we can control our surroundings. Yeah. And then hopefully people will see and be like, damn, those guys, you know, took the time out of their day to talk about something that doesn't directly relate to them. You know what I'm saying? That's
because we got love for everyone.
Right.
We have no hate in our heart. I'm not going to say like we're 100% pure, but I try to be.
Right.
I try to be 100% pure. And then when I do have some type of trait that I might show, I try to get that shit out of me like with the quickness. You know? But we definitely, our intentions are mean very well.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. 100%.
Yo, in a little bit, bro, I want to call somebody, man.
Yeah.
To get them on this, to get their like thoughts and opinions on this. So whenever we can keep talking, but whenever you're ready, I want to
for sure
Bluetooth and all that.
Cause I took a few notes, man, and so we just wanted to show our solidarity and show that we stand with the Asian community and that we support you guys as black men in America, as another minority group. We stand with you guys and we support what you guys are going through, and we're here. We're gonna show our support. We're gonna keep spreading awareness and talking about it, and we're here for you guys.
100%.
So we wanted to let that be known. But I took a few notes on. I wanted to kind of divert this from talking about Asian hate to uplift the Asian community, and share a few people that contributed to American society in crazy ways. So one of the first people I found, just doing a little research, her name was Anna Mae Wong. She was a Taiwanese American actress, and please forgive me if I butcher any of these names. I'm trying my hardest. I don't mean any disrespect. I'm doing the best I can, right? So she was born in LA in 1905, and she started in silent films, and she was in the first color films, which was huge back then. When color films came out back then, that was like, it's like when 4K TVs came out and like Blu-ray. Remember that shit was huge? Yeah. That's what it was like for them, man. So like she started in like the first color films, TV and radios, and she was also an advocate for the greater representation of Asian Americans in film. Because I guess back then they played the stereotypical roles of Asians. Mm-hmm. So that was the gigs they got in film. You know what I'm saying? So she was like an advocate to say like, nah, like we want the big roles. We want the main roles. We want to have the equal roles of, the white actresses and stuff like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that was one of the roles she played in the film industry early on.
She stood on her own and for her people.
Right, for her people, which was huge back then. What we said, she was born in 1905. So yeah, like the early 1900s, that's huge to do something, to have the will and the fortitude to stand up on your own, to do some shit like that back then. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Another one was Dr. Seongwoo. She was a Chinese American nuclear physicist. That's wild. That's wild. She was born in China in 1912, and then she moved to the U.S. in 1939, and she attended UC Berkeley in California. That's a prestigious school. You know what I'm saying? So one of her main accomplishments was she played a huge role in the Manhattan Project. So she helped develop like the first nuclear weapons. It was a project that I think Canada, the U.S., and it was another huge country that was involved in the Manhattan Project, and they were like developing like the first nuclear weapons, the first nuclear research and science. And she was one of the people in the forefront that helped like get the ball rolling and really do a lot of the hard work and the groundbreaking research to get that off the ground. It's like all the nuclear weapons we see on these big aircraft carriers and all the nuclear technology we have now is accredited to this lady. So big shout outs to her.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Another dude, we had Philip Veracruz, the Filipino labor and civil rights activist, which was huge. So back then, like a lot of Filipinos and Mexicans, like they worked in on farms. Back then, they worked in fields. Even to the day, they work in like the strawberry farms in California and stuff like that. Just laborers, you know, cheap labor, they're laborers. So he was the co-founder of the Agricultural Workers Organization Committee, one of the co-founders. And he was a partner with Cesar Chavez. Cesar Chavez is like the Mexican Dr. Martin Luther King. Like he had that impact on the Mexican community. So he partnered with Cesar Chavez, and they got together and formed a labor union that helped out thousands of Mexican Filipino laborers and got them better working conditions, better wages, stuff like that. And that's still having an effect today.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, that's real dope, man. Another one I had, Asian gentleman by the name of Sammy Lee. He was a Korean American Olympic diver, born in Fresno, California in 1920. And he was the first Asian American man to win gold at the Olympics. The first. That's like, he's like our Jesse Owens. You know what I'm saying? That's what he meant to the Asian community. You know what I'm saying? So that's huge. That's also huge. And another thing, he was a Olympic athlete, and he was also a doctor for 35 years and retired as a doctor. So he contributed as an athlete, Olympic athlete, and then became a doctor at the same time.
Yeah, man of many talents, man.
Man of many talents, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then, of course, couldn't forget my favorite man, Bruce Lee. My favorite man, Chinese American film star, and also a great philosopher. A man of many words, man. Like
the king of discipline.
Like just watching him in his film, watching him in his martial arts studios. Now he could take control of a room of people. It was just this just giving me chills to like right now. Like as a kid, like my dad loved Bruce Lee. I remember we had a stack of VHSs of just straight Bruce Lee VHS. We would just be on the weekends just popping them joints out, popping back in. My dad be reenacting all the moves and stuff with me. Like, yo, Bruce Lee tough, this how you do the joint. Like, ooh. Just reenacting all that. I remember it as a kid, like I was like max age. Yeah. But Bruce Lee, man, born in San Francisco on November 27th, 1940. I didn't know this, but his real name is Lee Jun Fan. That's his birth name. And like we all know, martial artist, film star, and philosopher. And he was the founder of the discipline of Jeet Kune Do. It's a martial arts style, which is like the basis of MMA. Like that's what MMA derived from, is Bruce Lee's style of Jeet Kune Do. So that's his contribution to the martial arts world. And people still study his discipline to the day. Yeah. Like it's one of the most like fluent martial art disciplines that's out there. You know what I'm saying? And it's very effective. People still study and try to duplicate his 1-inch punch and all that stuff, man. Like his body control and the dude is wild, man. But some of my favorite films from Bruce Lee, Way of the Dragon in 1972. My favorite joint is Enter the Dragon. He did that in 1973. That movie's tough. And then another one of my favorites was The Game of Death. He did in 1978. We all know Bruce Lee died. He died in July of 1973. And it's controversy around his death. Like, was he set up? Yeah. Some people say he was poisoned or whatever.
He was very young.
Yeah, he was young.
That's
young.
crazy.
I said he was 32 years old. He was young, and there's controversy. But I watched this documentary that came out not too long ago, and I think they were saying I forget exactly what it was, but he had like brain. I remember they said his wife. He was on the phone with his wife. He called his wife before he passed away. I think he died in his sleep, or something like that. And she knew because he had like stopped taking some kind of medication he was on, and his brain swole, and he passed away with something internal he had going on. But they don't know if it was like induced. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? So that's the controversy around that. But some of my favorite Bruce Lee quotes that I wrote down is, as you think, so you shall become. So that's like manifesting. Like if I think, simple as that, it's going to be in a world-renowned studio one day, it will become.
Yeah, I truly believe that your thoughts become things.
Yeah.
Truly believe that, bro.
You say that a lot.
Speak your way. Like speak anything into existence, bro.
Believe
anything realistic, you know.
Yeah.
Not like I'm a get a pair of Nike shoes right here, like speak into existence, like some Jordans or something.
Abracadabra, hocus pocus.
Right. Exactly. Like not like that. But like real life things, man,
Right,
that
yeah.
are hard to achieve. But
Mhm.
if you speak into existence and you actually like pursue it and work towards it, it can happen. So
Yeah.
Bruce Lee, like, you know, I didn't follow him like that, but there are some things that I looked up to him about, like
Right.
his discipline, the fact that, you know, he's for the people that what kind of fighting style is it?
Jeet Kune Do.
Okay, so he's for the people that want to master their mind as well, not
Right.
just physically, like want
Right.
to know how to fight. He's for those people, you know, mastering the mind. And he was just a nice, like intelligent guy that you could learn from, you know?
Right.
So yeah, I definitely looked up to Bruce Lee.
Yeah, man, huge figure in America, Chinese American figure. And it's crazy because I think at first he wasn't even received in China that way. When he went to China, like they looked at him, they looked down upon him. So you ain't really Chinese, you American, is this and that. But he got into the film industry over there, and that kind of changed the way people thought of him. He kind of gained the respect in China, and yeah, he did it that way. But yeah, man, so just a little bit of history behind Asian Americans and the way they contributed to America. You know what I'm saying? They've done their thing, and there's more. There's a lot more. I just did a few. I didn't want to get too long-winded with it, but yeah, just wanted to show some Asian American appreciation. You know, get a round of applause.
Bruh.
Oh, bro, that was for me. That was for me because I'm pressing the wrong button. Round of applause for the Asian American community, man. Round of applause.
Yeah, for sure.
Let me give myself another bruh. Let me give myself another bruh. Golly.
It's all good, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so you said you wanted to call somebody?
Yeah, I want to get somebody on the podcast real quick, man. Let me
Go ahead.
hook up to the Bluetooth, man. Dang. Hook up to the Bluetooth real quick.
Yeah, guys. So this Simple as That, man. Simple as That podcast, man. Make sure you guys tune in, tap in with us on Instagram, simple_AZ_that_podcast. And go like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, Simple as That podcast. All right, we're posting more content. We got some more interviews that we're going to be posting. We got stuff in the vault that we still need to post and upload. We got a lot coming, man. We got big dreams, big aspirations that we're going to do with Simple as That. We taking this to the top. So ride with us, man. Rock with us. We appreciate all of our supporters, everybody that likes and comments and views our videos already. Even if it's one, we appreciate you, man. So it's from the heart, man. We appreciate you guys.
For sure.
Hopefully the Bluetooth works.
It should. I don't see why it wouldn't.
Hello.
Hey, Esther.
Hey.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking. We got you on the podcast right now, so your voice is being recorded.
Okay.
All right, cool. I want to ask you about a couple things, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. Of course.
Okay. Can we start out with telling the people like where you're from?
Yeah, sure. I'm from Myanmar. It's in Southeast Asia. I'm now currently living in Frederick, Maryland for about 10 years now.
Okay. Can you tell us about like what's going on back in like your country, like the area that your family or the area that you were born in?
Yeah, sure. So I'm gonna tell you about a little bit about my country because most people doesn't know. So I'm actually from Myanmar, also known as Burma, as in Southeast Asia. Its neighbor Thailand, Laos, China, and India. It has a population about 54 million, most of whom are Burmese speakers, although other languages also spoken. And the main religion in Burma will be Buddhism. And so right now, so what happened right now is that military coup is happening. So in my country, this is already happened in 1988. So now it's happening again in February 1st, 2021. So what happened was, so the military government and the National League Democracy, NLD, which we call NLD party, they run for the presidential, right? So it's like here they run for the president and they do the voting and stuff. So people love democracy. We want democracy. We don't want military government take care of our countries because we know what's been going on before. So so a lot of people voted for NLD party, right? So right now, so they were saying the military government, military government, they're saying that this votes are fraud, right? So what they do is February 1st, 2021, they detain our elected leader of state councilor Aung San Suu Kyi, president of Myanmar, and other politic people. So they detain at 3 a.m. in the morning. So, since that happened, they go out and started to protest peacefully in different states. So we have like that my country is not a big country, but not a lot of people know, but they do out their own protest in a peaceful way. And so now, before in 1988, people protest and do everything, but they don't have the internet and stuff. So right now, technologies, happening. So whatever's going on, it goes to social media. So what they do is that people post it on social media, also happening in my country. So people lived in the United States, other countries know what is going on. So what they do is like they start shutting down the internet, they start shutting down social media in my country so that people don't know what's going on. So this is all doing of military government. So and also what they've been doing, that they started shooting innocent people while they're peacefully protesting. And at night, at night they don't even stay in their house anymore because the military people and some police, they will come to your house and grab them and they will put them in the jail for no reason, know. So that's like pretty scary. And they will shot people in their head, like they don't. It's just really heartbreaking to see what is going on in my country, and and so last week we saw in the news this one lady, she is pregnant in her home. She was hiding more than 25 protests in her home so that people or the police don't shoot them.
Wow.
So the police, they go into her house. In her own house, she got shot in the head. It's a pregnant lady we're talking about.
Wow.
And so they will capture all the younger, girls, women. They will capture them and excuse me for this, but they will rape them. They will abuse them. It was very terrifying for my people, in my country. And not only that, they also steal people money, and whatever people donated to the temple and stuff, they would took all the money. People donated food and stuff, they would took it, and whoever they saw at night, they would start shooting. And so this is literally what is happening in my country right now. And yeah. So that is what is happening in my country. Yeah.
Wow, that's sad to hear.
Is there anyone like helping you guys to fight against it? Is there like any neighboring countries that might have a military force that can, that's trying to help you guys there? Or
right now it's okay. So from what I'm heard from it, they talk to United Nations, and they also talk to United States of America, presidents. Like we try to reach out to the people. So they said they were having a meeting about it. Right now, as of now, they're not doing anything about it, but they're just having a meeting. So we'll see what's going to happen in the future.
Right.
And in the meantime, people are still losing their lives, and pregnant women are being killed, and kids are being raped.
Yep.
And they're taking a good time having a meeting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. That's not fair. They don't deserve that. Yeah.
So do you have any family back there? You still have people like living
Yes.
where? Wow. So
Yeah,
how what's going on with them? Like have you spoke to them about any of this?
Yes. So actually, my grandparents and my aunts, where they were living at night, they cut down the internet and they don't open it until like 9 a.m. in the morning. So whatever they want to do, they do it at night, usually most of the time, because and they're even scared to go outside now, and nobody's going they don't open grocery shopping or anything anymore. So it is hard for them to get their food, got the food and eat, buy stuff, whatever they need. So, and then the banks are also closed. So we're the one that's sending my grandparents and my aunts sending them money.
Wow.
So now like the banks are closed, so it's so hard for us to communicate with them too. So we usually talk like almost every day now. Nowadays we don't even really talk to them not every day anymore.
Right.
And yeah, so now people are like involved in civil movement, which is like they don't go to work anymore. They stop working, so that's people being like involving in that. So it's pretty much helped a lot, but not all the people are like involving.
Right. That's sad that it has gotten this bad,
Yeah, like we didn't know that it would go that bad. They started like burning houses for no reason, And in my country, not like here, we don't get paid hourly. So whatever they work for that day, they got the money for it.
Mm-hmm.
So if now that nothing is opening anymore, how will people gonna eat? They have to worry about their, families and stuff. So I'm also worried about my grandpa and my grandma too. Yeah, they are old and they don't deserve none of this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Wow. Well, thanks for everything. Like, I'm definitely gonna make sure that I pray for you and your family, because that's tough times. I can't even imagine like being in this situation with my family, and
it's definitely tough. Like, and you're a very strong person for even getting on here and speaking about it. I definitely appreciate you coming on and sharing your story.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome.
Yeah, thank you for having me, guys. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much, Esther. I appreciate it, getting you on the podcast, enlightening people, and just being transparent.
Yeah, I really appreciate you guys for having me and talk about my country as well. I'm a little bit like nervous and all, but and I really appreciate you guys for doing this.
Right.
It helps a lot. Yeah.
Yeah,
no problem.
All right, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good one, Esther.
Thank you too. Bye.
All right, bye.
Wow, that's crazy, and that's happening a lot, man, in a lot of countries like Israel and places like that. Palestine is going through the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Man, we take what we have here for granted, man. I had no idea that was going on where she was from too. But I know historically, like Southeast Asia has gone through. Like historically, people have flown. What's it flown? That is flown, right? When you flee, yeah. Like refugees, they've flown from wherever the hell, like Cambodia, the Southeast Asia in general, to get away from those kind of things, to get away from like military trying to take over and just running through communities and killing women and children. Man, it's horrific stuff, man. And this is today. We ain't talking about the 80s and the 70s and the 50s anymore. We're talking about today.
Right now, bro.
2021. People are still living like this, man. People are still living like this, man. I just, it's hard to wrap my mind around. It's like, I want to help, but
what can we possibly do? What can we do?
Because even she said,
than bring light.
Yeah, except spread awareness. Because she said like people donate money and food and they're taking it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, what can we really do but pray to our God, and hopefully he can oversee and share our blessings with them and bring them out of that situation. I know she said that they're Buddhists. We all have our different gods. That's a whole different conversation. But I know I would be praying to my God about their situation. You know what I'm saying? I would definitely pray to my God about this, because that's heartbreaking, man. This is stuff you read about in history books, and to know that we're alive
during times like
this, man, and we just take what we have for granted. Like we can go to Weiss or Martin's and go buy pack of oatmeal or
We got it good,
box
bro.
of cereal.
We got it good.
My son could sit there and be on the iPad
Chilling.
and ain't got to worry about somebody running up in here.
Minding his own business, bro.
Right.
Living free, you know?
Man,
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. But like I said, bro, we're definitely gonna, you know, I'm gonna definitely pray for everybody that is going through like all this nonsense and craziness right now, you know.
it's a tough one, man.
So,
It's a tough one. Definitely a tough one.
but
Man, hopefully you guys appreciated the episode, man. Hopefully you guys maybe learned something from the episode. And hopefully we encourage you to do something about it, man. Even if it's just speaking to your neighbor. You know, a famous thing people like to say is love thy neighbor. Love your neighbor. You know, speak to your neighbor, greet your neighbor. That goes a long way. That's like step one, is being open-hearted and kind-hearted and just being inviting to people that are going through things. Right now, the Asian community is suffering. Around the world, she just spoke on it. Around the world, the Asian community is suffering. And it's time that we love our neighbors and keep doing what we're doing right now and bringing awareness and talking about things from our perspective and bringing light and positivity to it, doing the best that we can. This is what we can do. This is what we can control. This is our part. And it was an honor to sit here and do this, honestly.
for sure, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to you. Shout out to Esther.
Yeah.
Shout out to all our supporters. You know, nothing goes unnoticed for sure. You know, just stay positive, keep that head up, and keep it moving.
Keep it moving, baby.
Simple as that podcast.
Yes, sir. Simple as that podcast, man. We're going to wrap it up, man. Once again, we appreciate you guys. We love our supporters. And we out of here.
I got this shit straight out of mud. Not in love, you show me love. My homie let me for a scrub. Okay. I got this shit straight out of mud. Not in love, you show me love. My old bitch let me for a scrub. Yeah, Beyonce, we them dub. I got this shit straight out of mud. Not in love, you show me love. My homies let me for a scrub. Yeah, Beyonce, we them dub. I got this shit straight out of mud. And not in love, you show me love. I had to go find me a plug.